our AWS Web Service Solution Architect classes, which we're gonna cover in the visual path for next 30 days. So we're gonna cover almost these 20 services. So I will make sure you go through each and service now. So we will have our official documentation, which is providing by the AWS.
Can you please switch on this webcam, Gajapati?
Webcam. Okay, this is the AWS Management Console. So here the AWS will
Turn off
provide
the
you the
webcam.
webcam.
Yeah, his webcam is turned on.
No, no, no. My system don't have any kind of webcam. You can hear my voice and you can see my screen. Is there any problem in it?
No, that's fine. I'll manage.
Okay, fine. You can able to see my entire screen where I gonna navigate you regarding the AWS course content, and my voice will be audible for you very clearly. Sorry for that. I don't have any cam to my system. So okay, let's start. So this is the AWS console, which is providing by the AWS, like aws.amazon.com. So here we're gonna work for our next 30 days. So they will provide you the free account. So we're gonna create our AWS free account with the help of our credit card or debit card. They're gonna charge for around 2 rupees for the confirmation of account, and then you can access around all the services which is providing by the AWS. So not all the services and entire services which is providing by the AWS is free. Only a few services are free in the AWS. So we will also discuss like which services and what services are providing free by the AWS for the user purpose, and in the free also they will charge if you extend the limit of that particular free service. So in the each and every class we're going to discuss, I will let you know like what kind of service we are using and why we are using and what is the use of that particular service and how to create that service and how to use that service and how to destroy that service and what are the billing the charges which is providing by that service. We're going to discuss at each and everything. So what exactly the AWS is? So I have prepared a small introduction file for you so that you can refer it. So what exactly the cloud server, the client server computing? So whatever the tools like the mobile phone, the laptop or the system we are using, we will call ourselves as a client, and we will connect to another server, which is nothing but for example, if you are accessing a Facebook or if you are accessing any kind of different websites which are available in the online, so entire website will be deployed in some other's computer. Simply think like that, like this is some other's computer, and from your system you are connecting through internet to that particular mission and you are accessing that particular site. So you are uploading a picture from your mobile into the Facebook through internet, and it's gonna save in some other's computer is called a server. So what exactly the big servers will look like, I will just show you. These are the small CPUs which we are accessing in our homes nowadays. So this will be something look like in the organizations in somewhere else, or in your organization you may use this kind of servers. So these are the smaller parts and this is the bigger parts. In our systems we may have like 16 GB RAM and 1 TB memory and one kind of operating system like Windows most probably we will use in our homes. And when coming to the organizations they will have the multiple servers with a large amount of memory and large amount of data, and multiple operating systems can be accessed inside this particular servers. So if this particular setup is present in your organization is called as on premises. You got it, guys? If this particular setup is present in your organization is called as on premises. So from on premises you're gonna access, from the on premises you're gonna access this entire services and you're gonna work on it. For example, if this particular setup is organizing by some other companies in the market and you are using their resources is called as cloud computing. So in the market there are multiple cloud computings are available, in which AWS is one of the major cloud computing which has started first in the 2006. So from 2006 they have created their own data centers in multiple regions across the world, and they are providing these services for us to access like this. So these are the different kind of services they are providing. So I will make sure you to go through one by one service what exactly the services also. So simply now think like you are using your missions to access some other data from different location through internet is called as client server computing. So in the classes again we will discuss like exactly what the client server is and how it gonna access and how we are utilizing it, and what are the basic requirements and how they are providing with the help of what kind of configurations etc. We will look after it. And next one is the we have discussed like cloud computing is based on total three different parts. One is application, one is platform, and another one is infrastructure. These things is also called as is SaaS PaaS, which is nothing but infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Guys, is my speed is okay, or should I have to slow down, or should I have to increase my speed? Any one
Actually,
or
you
two
are going
response?
so fast. We cannot catch,
Okay,
but I would recommend you to just be a bit of moderate speed so that everyone can understand. Yeah.
sure, sure. So this is our devices from which you are accessing, and this is the device which is located in some other location. Through internet, we are connecting to these devices and we are accessing it. Okay, so whatever the services we are using, for example the Facebook or the Gmail, which are all the free services we are using nowadays, so we are not paying anything to them. But even though we are not paying anything to that particular services like Gmail also, they are charging you if you want to increase your size of this particular mission. So in general, the Gmail will provide you how much of GB, if anyone has idea?
15.
15 GB, right? So if you want to increase it to 100 GB, they will charge you like 1300 rupees per year. Okay, so why they are charging? Because they have to maintain this particular servers in some other's location. So for this maintenance purpose they will charge you, and this 15 GB is also free for you, but they will generate the income based upon that your data, which is not a secure data, because you are using one of the open source application. So they will may use or they may not use your data, but they will not charge for you. But if you want to increase your size of that particular application, they will charge you. Similarly, in the market there are different kind of developers will be available. So each developer will prepare their own applications, which may be the web applications, which may be the data applications, which may be the Java applications, whatever it may be. Those developers will prepare their applications, and they can access only from their local systems. If that particular application want to be accessed from all the multiple missions through internet, they have to deploy their application from their local system to this particular servers. Okay, for this scenario those people will approach us as an AWS engineer. So we will plan for them like how their application can be deployed in the servers, and entire world can access those applications with the help of AWS services which are providing. Okay, so those applications can be categorized into three types like is, SaaS, and PaaS, which is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So like before I said, if the servers have deployed in your own company, this is called as on-premise. If that particular services are deployed in the cloud, is called as cloud computing. Okay, same these particular servers, if in your organization is big enough like the TCS or Tech Mahindra, whatever it may be, the biggest MNCs, they will make entire floor as an server floor, and they will keep a few people to maintain these servers. So this particular thing is called as on premises. If your organization is a startup company, or if they don't want to maintain their servers in their own organization, then they will use the cloud computing, like they will deploy in the different cloud which is called as cloud computing. So in the market there are different kind of cloud computings are available, like one is AWS and another is like GCP, and you have Azure, and nowadays the Alibaba is there, DigitalOcean is there. Like there are different kind of cloud computings are available, but each cloud computing will provide almost the same features. Like if you are taking any kind of bike, all bikes will run with the help of petrol, and they will all have almost four gears. They have the racing rod, they have the kick rod. Like all the bikes will have the same structure, but the company name and the model will be different. Similarly, inside the cloud computing also, what are the services they are providing, the services will be similar, but the navigation and utilization will be different from cloud to cloud. So there are Oracle cloud is there, IBM cloud is there, like different kind of clouds, but AWS will always stand in the top. We will discuss like why the AWS is top in the market. So these are the few basic benefits of cloud computing. We will discuss it like in the class, like why we are using, like it will reduce the cost, it has the scalability. Like if you are using in on premises, like if you bought one CPU for your home with 8 GB of RAM, and this 8 GB of RAM is not a capacity for your system, and if you want to increase the RAM, what will you do? Simply you go to the market and you will buy another 8 GB RAM chip, and you will configure yourself, or you will take to one of the technician. The technician will configure the CPU and will use it. So here you can observe it is a cost efficiency and the time taking. And for example, you have configured the 16 GB, and after 1 month, and there is no use of using the 16 GB RAM capacity for your CPU. Again, the if you have degraded yourself to the 8 GB, the 8 GB RAM which you are using in your CPU is waste. So you are investing money on it, but you are not utilizing it. So these are the main disadvantages on the on premises. So if the company want to upgrade, they have to invest a lot of money. If they want to degrade, they have to left the resources they are not using, also they have to keep the resources in their organization without any payment. When coming to the cloud computing, within simple clicks, you can increase your RAM capacity, memory capacity, and you can change your operating system. Similarly, you can degrade them also. Like it's all about the scalability. You can change anything based upon your requirements. And next one, the business continuity. For example, in your organization, if there is a power failure, like in your building, if the power failure has been happened, you can't access that application because the power has gone, or internet issues, or any kind of physical failures, whatever it may be happen, it will be all depends upon your organization. While coming to the cloud computing, they will take that responsibility, and they will shift your data from one location, from one country to the another country within seconds, so that the end user don't face any kind of issues. Okay. And they have a different kind, like flexibility from work locations. You may also observe like a few of your relatives or few of your friends willing to say like, my company has asked me to come to the Pune location, or my company asked me come to the US for 1 week project deployment, etc. and etc. This will happen due to this on premises. If that particular organization is maintaining the on premises system, they won't provide access to outside people to deploy their applications. Definitely this person has to move that particular location to access those particular network access, and to deploy that application whatever they have been prepared. That problem won't be happen inside the cloud computing. So you can have the work from home opportunity also with the help of this cloud computing. Like we have a different kind of utilizations, and I have said before, like the SaaS, PaaS and as we will discuss it one by one when we are coming to the classes. And this is like what exactly happening. So these are the different kind of options, like these are the different kind of methods which has to follow by each company to set up their own premises. When you are choosing to the cloud has divided into three different parts, like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So these color, like you have to manage, and these are the services which is managed by the server, the cloud computing itself. So you don't have to face the problem while maintaining these things will be maintained by the cloud itself. But they will charge you, like they will charge you pay as you go policy. I will explain you like what exactly the pay as you go policy. Like I will explain you like this one by one what exactly will happen in our further classes, like what is SaaS, PaaS and as, and how they are working. And there are total three different types of clouds are also available in the market, which is private cloud, public cloud and hybrid cloud. For example, if you are using YouTube, which is a public cloud, like you can access any video, and you can share the link video to your friends so that they can also view that video. Like it is a pure public cloud. And there is also a private clouds, like they will charge you to access this private cloud. For example, your Amazon Prime. Okay, so you have to pay a minimum amount to access whatever the content which is available inside it, which is called as private cloud. And hybrid cloud is just like your Hotstar. Like he will give you few service, few videos and few movies for free, and if you want to access the premium or VIP account, again you have to charge it. Like it is a combination of hybrid cloud. Again we will discuss like what exactly this all the services are available, like what are the different clouds are available, one by one in our future classes. Okay, this is a basic introduction about what exactly the cloud and what are the services, like what how the cloud has been divided into multiple services, and how it is how the services are providing to the market by using different kind of cloud computing services. Like we will discuss about one like AWS, which we are gonna cover for the next 30 days classes. This is a basic overview of AWS management console. So we will create a free account for the AWS management console, which will be activated for the next 365 days, and you gonna generate bill for every month, which bill will be like if you are using the services within the limit which is provided by the AWS, then it is free of cost. Like which we call as AWS free time. So while getting the AWS account, I will explain you like what kind of options you have to choose to get this free tier account, or else you may navigate to the business account, which will be chargeable from the first day onwards. If you created this free tier account, they will provide a few services which are for always free, and few services only 12 months free, and few services for trial, like they will give you for 1 or 2 times just for the trial purpose. So we will use the mostly services which are 12 months free. Okay, so this is my mode of explaining my students. Like I already have taken the few previous classes to few of students. So the mode of explanation will be like this, like the first day of the class I will go with the demo and introduction of the class, like where I gonna cover the services is PaaS and SaaS. Now we have discussed a little bit about the is PaaS and SaaS and the different kind of services. Now I will go to the different kind of services which is providing by the AWS. Like the first service is like EC2. What exactly the EC2 is means? Elastic Cloud Compute. Is I'm still fast?
No, no, you are not fast.
Thank you.
So these are all services which are located in the cloud itself, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And anyone can also make a queries like in between. That query may be useful for another person also. So please don't hesitate to interrupt me in between my demo also. Like in the classes also, if you have any query, please ask me. I will happy to explain you what exactly happening in that particular service. So what this is entire AWS dashboard which I've shown you before, like a management console, in which I have chosen one of these service called as EC2. EC2 is nothing but Elastic Cloud Compute. So just give me 1 minute. Okay. For example, this is your mission. For the scenario, you will think this just like your mission or your CPU, or it may be the server, or it may be the data center which I've shown you before, or else you can assume it also an EC2. Okay, everything is same, the terminology will be different. So what exactly happens here means, so it will consist of mostly the four different things. It will consist of lot of things. We will only concentrate on a main four things. Like the first one is like memory. Okay, I'm bad of drawings. Let us think it's just like a memory. This is like an operating system. This is like memory, and this is like RAM. So what are the four things? RAM, memory, operating system, and anyone? Okay. So there are four things: memory, RAM, operating system, and data. So like what happens here, whatever the application it may be, they require these four different resources to deploy their application in that particular mission. So you may use in your career like memory, RAM.
Yeah, I'm not able to understand what is this diagram actually.
Okay, I will let you explain you again. Okay, so we will have, for example, think it as an one of the mission. So this mission consists of a memory. For example, if you think it as your CPU, so your CPU will have a memory of around 500 GB in general, and you will have the RAM, which is like 8 GB RAM, and you will also have the operating system, which is like Windows operating system nowadays. Like in your homes, you may use most probably the Windows operating system, and you will also deploy your application in it. So if this mission is like your EC2, okay, so this mission will also consist of this majorly these four things like memory, RAM, operating system, and application. Okay, if these things present in your local, we called it as on premises or your CPU. If same thing will present in the AWS, we call it as EC2. Okay, so if you want to create one of the mission in the EC2, okay, these are already my previous running missions. Please ignore it. For the first time when you are creating, there will be an empty thing will be available for you, or else I will try to move to the another region and I will show you like what exactly it will look like. Let's to Mumbai. So I have choosing which you can see like different kind of locations, which is nothing but each location the AWS providing their services. Okay, don't worry about it, we will discuss it like whatever the regions and zones in one of our class very clearly, but just for the demo purpose I'm showing you like what are the regions and zones will available in the AWS. So in the entire world, in the different locations, the AWS has been created their own data center, which I have shown before. Like before I was shown you some kind of servers, right? So they have created their own data centers in the across world. Like they have more than 22 plus regions and zones across the world. Like in the US, they have four different regions and zones. In the Mumbai, in the recent times, they have implemented Mumbai, the older one, and now they are creating their own data center in the Hyderabad also, which is in Kokapet, I think so. Like they have recently bought a lot of land and created their own data centers in the Hyderabad location also. So in the future, you may also just give me 1 second. I think my internet is slow. So there are total 22 plus regions and zones are available, which is one is in US East and US West are the mostly we will use because that is the headquarters of the AWS, which is Virginia. So we will set up our entire applications in the Virginia, or else you can choose your nearest data center, which is Mumbai. In India, we have Mumbai and Hyderabad, but Hyderabad is still in the manufacturing itself, so it will take more than 6 to 1 year for to implement the Hyderabad location also. And then next we will use the Ohio region. Like that, we will have the multiple regions and zones will be available. We will discuss it one by one. Just 1 minute, guys. Okay. Okay. So when for the first time AWS, this will be the view of your EC2 instance dashboard. Okay, you will simply click on launch instance. So here again the instance is nothing but your EC2 mission, or else what I said, like if you are using your CPU, which will be the local on premises, and if you are using your EC2 dashboard, if you are using EC2, it is called as EC2, or else if you are using the local, it is called as on-premises system. So in the EC2, there are total 7 options will be available to create your mission inside the AWS account. The first one be like AMI, which is nothing but Amazon Mission Image. So which is nothing but your operating system. So here the AWS will provide a large number of multiple operating systems. So here you can see the Windows also. Okay, so these are the Windows operating systems. If you want to create this Windows operating system, you can select it, but in general the most of the organizations will work on this Ubuntu or this Amazon missions, which is CentOS. Why? Because these are the CLI thing, like which is nothing but the command line interface. So when you are using Windows, now only you can see like my system has been slowed down because of the multiple usage. Like I'm recording a session and I'm going on the online session and I'm using the AWS services and I'm using the internet. Make this all things my Windows a little slow. That won't happen in the Ubuntu. That's why the most of the organizations will prefer the Ubuntu servers for the deployment of their applications. Okay, so if you use the multiple things on the Windows, it will slow down. But few companies and few organizations will prepare their applications which will run only on the Windows. In that particular scenario, you have to choose this particular missions as an operating system for your EC2 instance. But in our entire AWS sessions, we will mostly use this Ubuntu servers. Okay, which is like command line interface and easy to operate. There will be no problem of this kind of struck, and you can access entire thing in the Ubuntu servers also. So don't worry if you are an IT student or if your background is not related to the computers. This will all things will look like this all things will look something horrible for you. But don't worry, I will each and every day we will have a clear sessions like. Okay, So this Ubuntu server we will use for our next entire sessions. So this Ubuntu is a free tier eligible, which is nothing but you can use. Okay, you can use this for the next 30 days also. You will won't charge anything for this using for this Ubuntu server, Ubuntu missions. So I'll explain you like how to create this Ubuntu server and how to use it. So here the instance type, configure instance, add storage, like these are the different options. I will navigate you like each and every day classes. I will choose only one particular service, and I will explain you like what is that service and why we are using that service, and that service will interlink with the another service. Like AWS has multiple services, each service will have link with another service. So without EC2 you can't create the AMIs. Without AMIs you can't choose the instance type. Without a instance type you can't configure the instances. Like that each and everything will have a particular link flow. So I will explain you each and everything. Okay, can you able to see my course content, or else you are seeing only my? Yes. So this is my course content which gonna cover for you. If you require also share this course content with you, or else you can follow the official course content which is providing by the Visual Path also. Both are will be similar, but here I will try to cover one or services more than the course content which is provided by the Visual Path. So this is one of the
So,
service like EC2.
sorry to interrupt you. Will you also be teaching us like Terraform and Linux commands, everything?
Like that is not in the Terraform, which is not going to cover in this particular AWS course. There is an, I think there's totally a different Terraform course which is available for you in the Visual Path. So you can contact once with them for the Terraform entire course. But I will explain you the basics of Terraform, like what is Terraform and what is the use of Terraform, and how will you create your resources, and like the providers and the resources. And I will navigate you to how to create your structure of the Terraform, and I will make you to create a one or two services in the AWS, but not entire Terraform course. I think there is another course which is available in the Visual Path. You try to contact with them, but I will provide you the basics. Like because here in the AWS we have more than 20 services which I said which we have to cover. Like EC2 is one of the course. After the EC2 creation and after the account creation, we will directly jump into for the Linux introduction, because we said like we
Will you
gonna
also
cover
teach
the
us shell scripting?
no. The shell scripting will be part of the DevOps field. If you choose the DevOps and AWS course, there you gonna cover the entire shell scripting. This is not related to the coding part. I'm making sure you again. This is entire a application, and I will drive you to the entire application. What are the services they are providing? How to choose the multiple options in the AWS, and how can you create your own missions, and how can you create your own architecture, and how can you deploy your applications. I will navigate to all these things. If you want the pure
Okay.
Terraform coding part or a shell scripting part, I think there is another course which is available in the Visual part. Okay.
Okay, if you are a fresher and you cleared AWS exam, will you get a job like if you are a BCom graduate?
Yes, definitely. But you have to compromise with the package, because as a fresher, I think you're gonna get around 2.5 to 3.6 package based upon the organization. And if you are a fresher and your degree is like if you are having a degree and you have completed the AWS course, and if you can crack the interview as a fresher, they're gonna offer you a little amount. And if you're an experienced guy and if you want to learn only AWS and
How
you want to
much
show
will offer?
only AWS, like for the basic in the IT field, the basic structure will be like 2.4 to 3.6 based upon the organization. The startup company will also provide you only 1,80,000, which is 15,000 per month. Few organizations will provide you 25,000 per month for a fresher candidate in the technical fields.
Okay.
And if you are experienced guy, you can expect a per year 2.5 package, and how many years of experience you have, you can calculate yourself into 2.5.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much, Bhargav.
Yeah, sure. So like we're gonna
Uh,
cover the basic
yeah,
of.
Bhargav, one more question.
Yeah, sure.
So are you going to explain how to run the big data Spark on top of this AWS and
No.
effectively?
I
So
think
are you going to
no. Yeah, please
So
pardon.
is
What are
there
the
any
services you
course?
want?
Okay, is there any course available in Visual Path for specifically
You
running
please
big data
contact
application
with
part?
them as of now, because the Visual Path is providing more than 10 to 15 kind of different courses. I don't have idea regarding
Okay.
all those services. You contact with the help desk so that they will help you. This course, I think you may have received the course structure like what we are gonna cover in this particular, or else I will show you like what we gonna now. So
No, no,
services
I
we
have
are gonna
reviewed that one. Just
cover.
wanted to.
Course gonna cover. Like we will go with the account creation, and I will explain you like, are you able to see the screen? Yes. So these are the services, multiple services which is providing with the AWS. I'm gonna cover in this session. Like one is like AWS account creation, free tier account creation, and I will explain you like what they will charge basis on what type of they are gonna charging and how to use the free tier eligibilities. And I will navigate through the regions and zones. There are more than 22 regions are available in the AWS. I will explain you what are the regions and what are the zones and what is advantages of using that particular region compared to the another region. I will explain you all these things, and I will navigate to the EC2. EC2 is nothing but is one of the mission. It is which is placed in another's computer. Just assume like that now onwards. Like I will explain you about the EC2. I will explain you about the AMIs. AMIs is nothing but if you are choosing an EC2 mission and you have implemented one of the application and you have made some kind of installations and you want to make the copy of that particular mission same mission. You got my point, right? If you have one folder with some particular files and if you want to make it same thing, you will simply right click it, copy it, and you paste it to make the same copy in the pen drive or in in the pen drive or in someone's computer or in the same computer also from one drive to another drive. Similarly, in the AWS, if you are using that concept is called as AMI. So I will help you to navigate like what is AMIs and what are templates and how to create AMIs and how to create templates and how to share your AMIs from one account to another account or from one region to another region. I will show you everything, and I will explain you about the IAM. Nothing but identity access management. I will come back regarding this IAM, and here we also have the EBS. For example, as I said before, this AWS and Elasticity, which is nothing but if your CPU will have only 500 GB of memory, and if you want to increase the memory, you will go to the market and again you will buy the new hard disk and you will attach to your system and you will restart it. Then you gonna create it. But here it is a cloud. We can do anything. So if you want to increase a block storage, like a block amount of particular storage like 10 GB, 20 GB, 100 GB, and you can increase up to 16 TB. Okay, so 16 TB is a large amount of data, so you can up to increase 16 TB and you can attach to this particular EC2 instance so that you can access it. So I will navigate you to how to create this EBS and how to store the backups and how to attach this particular EBS to this particular EC2 and how to create the snapshot. The snapshot is nothing but the copy of this EBS so that you can share this snapshot to one account to another account so that they can use this data for them also. And I will explain you about the ELB, which is nothing but the load balancer. So what exactly the load balancer is? For example, if you are using mission, for example, if you are having an application which has deployed in one particular mission, okay, so sometimes in real time also you have faced this issue like the server is down and unable to access this particular time due to overload. Like if this particular application a large number of people are using, for example, if you are using any Zomato application, not Zomato application, maybe the result site, maybe your 10th result or inter result, you may face this problem. Like at a time, a large number of people will access to particular link and the server will be down. If the people will calm down, then the server will be accessible to lot. So this server will have a capacity of, for example, 10,000 people. So only at a time that 10,000 people can access this particular site. What happen if that particular number has been increased to 1 lakh? so this particular server can't access it. So what in general we will do in the AWS means, if we have the application here, we will copy this application and we will make it in multiple servers with the help of AMIs. So as I said, the AMIs is nothing but the image of this particular EC2. So here we have the application and we have all the installations in one mission. We will copy it in another 3 missions and we will make a single access from single link. So whoever the user it may be, if they want to access this particular missions, they have to hit this to particular link. This is called as DNS link. The DNS is nothing but URL, just like your www.matrimony.com or www.facebook.com. like that, you may have your result link. So that result link will be accessible with this particular thing, and we call it as ELB. Okay, so ELB is nothing but Elastic Load Balancer. The whoever the user it may be, if you want to access this particular link, they will first connect to this ELB, and this ELB will decide like which server is free, and based upon the free, like if this has capacity of 10,000 and this mission will have capacity of, for example, 50,000, and this mission has capacity of 30,000, we will create our own capacity missions based upon the requirement. So the 10 lakhs people are accessing, this will share the number of people to these particular missions, and it will handle the load. So it will maintain the load automatically. We don't have to do anything. This will automatically maintain the load, which is called as Elastic Load Balancer. So there are total 3 types of Elastic Load Balancers are available, like Application Load Balancer, Classic Load Balancer, and the Network Load Balancer. Again, we will discuss like one by one what exactly this application and classic and network load balancer. This is one of the service, and the next service is like auto scaling. So what exactly the auto scaling is like, for example, you are using your Zomato application. So you may have witnessed that this Zomato application will be only used at a certain times with certain people, like only the breakfast time or the lunch time or the dinner time, and remaining times the load will be low. Only this particular time the load will be increased. So for example, in the peak time they require total 5 missions for to handle the load, how many users they are coming, for example. Okay, so you will create it and you will attach it, and in non-peak time the number of users will be automatically decrease. So you have to delete this again, these missions. So keep on deleting these missions and attaching these missions based upon the user requirement will be headache in the ELB process. If you have the fixed amount of load, then you can use this ELBs, but you don't know like when the load will be coming and when will the load will be going, and based upon the utilizations the load may increase, the load may decrease. So it has to be, entire thing should be auto scaled, which means automatically it has to create its own missions. It has to create its own missions and it has to attach to this particular ELB, and after the utilization has been done, these missions has to be terminated automatically, which will save our money, because everything in the AWS is cost of money. You are creating one mission is cost of money, you are deleting and also is also saving your money. So every organization will expect you to save some amount from for the organization. So this entire thing will be handled with the help of auto scaling. So I will navigate you to what is auto scaling, how to create auto scaling, how to set up auto scaling, how to save money, and how to revert back. Everything will be handled with the help of auto scaling. So as I said, like automatically the load will come and load will go. So who will monitor it? We not gonna sit entire day and see like how much load is coming and how much load is going. Like CPU's utilization it reaches 100%, or CPU utilization is less than 100%, and his machine is creating, his machine is down. Like we won't sit every day. There is another service which is called as CloudWatch, which is nothing but a monitoring tool for the AWS services.
Hello, Bhargav.
Yes.
Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you. Okay, in ELB, can you just tell us the use case of the ALB and NLB, and where we should use the Epic ALB and NLB?
NLB. I'm not getting
Yeah,
you, sir. Please, can you please repeat?
ALB and NLB.
I know about this ELB. What is NLB?
Yeah, network load balancer, application load balancer, and network load balancer.
Okay. So the application load balancer is, for example, if you have an application like, for example, Zomato application itself. So you can categorize the servers you may categorize this into an web server, you can categorize this into non-web server, and you can categorize into desert server. So this will decide, the particular application load balancer will decide, like based upon the required request, the load will share to this particular server. For example, if a user is requesting for the only non-veg, this server won't navigate that person to this or this server. Only it will navigate to this particular server, like non-veg server, so that he can use that particular application. This concept will be mostly used in the banking servers also. So for the depositing, they will use one server. For the withdrawal, they will use one server. For the for the what called loans, they will use one server. For the credit cards, they will use one server. Like they will use the different servers, because if one server will down, all the applications which are present in the server will also down. So they will create the multiple servers so that the user will navigate to that particular server to use case it. So with the help of application server, we can achieve it. So we can create the multiple servers, we can deploy the multiple applications of one particular site, and we can navigate it. And similarly, we have the network, which is based upon the port numbers. So this network will also be accessed to across the world. For example, if for the single site, the view will be different from different countries. If particular site is using from India, you will have one particular view, and the same particular site which is using by the Portuguese people will have the different site view. Like they will have their own UI, and they will have their own network. Like it will be categorized automatically with the help of networking site. Okay, so these are the different kind of ELBs, and there is also a classic load balancer, which is the older version. We will discuss it one by one, like when we are gonna discuss about the ELB class. And what I am discussing about the CloudWatch. So the CloudWatch is yes.
In ALB, so will you be give us the demo with SSL? How to implement SSL on a ALB?
You gonna asking for the SSL?
Yeah.
Yeah. In general,
will you teach us in the class that how we will implement the SSL on the ALB application load balancer?
Like yes. So the SSL will be two different types. One will be the chargeable, which is we have to buy from the market, and another one is the free. So I will show you like how to generate the SSL certificate with the help of free sites. Okay, and I will explain you like how to set up the SSL with the ELB.
Okay.
Okay. So and we are discussing about the CloudWatch. So yes, any doubts? Okay. So the CloudWatch is like the monitoring tool. It will monitor like entire services, like what exactly the services is happening, how much load is coming and how much load is going, what is the CPU utilizations. Everything will be monitored with the help of CloudWatch. And it will send the notifications with the help of SNS. Like if, for example, the load has been increased in the ELB, with the help of auto scaling, they have automatically created one of the mission, and it is handling the load. So air process has been done inside this ELB and auto scaling. It will monitor by the CloudWatch, and it will send the message with the help of SNS to us. Okay, like each and every service will have interlink. Again, in this ELB, we will have the EC2s, and we're gonna use the AMIs. Like that, every service will have the interlink. I will explain you like which service will have interlink with another service, like each and every services. Like we have the RDS, which is nothing but the regional database service, which will handle the database requesters like MySQL, and they are providing more than 7 to 8 different kind of databases. We will discuss about one of the database, which is MySQL or MariaDB. And the next one is like VPC, which is one of the important and the major concept in the AWS, which is virtual private cloud. So they're gonna create the private cloud, and this is a huge concept which will be gonna take for 2 days. Like each and every service will be 1 day class, where coming to the VPC is a 2 days of class. So I will explain you like what is VPC, and there will be a concept called as subnets. I will explain you concept of subnets, and I will explain you the concept of private IPs and the public IPs, and how the IP addresses will be generated. Same thing a little bit which is related to the networking concept. So we will discuss it about like VPC. And the next one is called as route 53. So whatever the site you are using inside the EC2 will be navigated with the help of IP addresses. So each and every time remembering the IP address will be difficult. So we will attach that particular IP address to this particular names, like www.facebook.com or youtube.com. So each and every domain name will be navigate to one of the IP address which is available in the EC2 missions. So this will have the IP address. This IP address we're gonna attach with one of the domain name inside the route 53. So the route 53 is nothing but navigating from one location to another location, so it will redirect your application name to your IP address. So the same ELB we're gonna attach to the auto scaling, the same ELB we gonna the same DNS name we're gonna attach to the auto scaling, the same DNS name we're gonna attach to the ELB, and the same DNS name we're gonna attach to the EC2. So I will show you like entire concept of this domain name setup with the help of route 53 concept. And coming to
Mark,
this part, yes.
yeah, in VPC, are you going to cover like VPN and DX and transit gateway?
I gonna cover the internet gateway. I gonna cover the NAT gateway. I gonna cover the multi subnets in a single VPC, and I'm gonna cover the single multiple VPCs across the regions and across the zones, which is called as VPC peering.
Yeah. Okay, so you will not cover VPN and DX and transit gateway and that.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Okay. So, and whatever you are seeing, this entire things which is related to the DevOps point of view, like or the developer point of view, which is like the code commit. So the code commit is nothing but in general we have a tool called as Git. So if you are using a Git, which is a third party tool, and if you are using the same service inside the AWS, which is called as code commit. So I will explain you like how we can achieve that Git inside this code commit with the help of AWS service. So I'm gonna cover Git commit, and I'm gonna cover the Git trial, and also I'm gonna cover the Git pipeline, which is just like the CI/CD pipeline in general the people use in the market. So we can achieve the CI/CD pipeline with the only AWS services also. I'm gonna cover it with the help of Elastic Beanstalk. And the cloud formation is nothing but you are using this many kind of different services. You can access this all the services with the help of cloud formation also. I will explain with the cloud formation. And there is a concept called as CloudFront. So there are different reasons across the AWS which I said before. So if you want to access that application from one region to another region with very fast and very frequent, you're gonna use a service called as CloudFront. So I'm going to explain you like what exactly the CloudFront is and how to create CloudFront and how to achieve the CloudFront. And there is a key management system, so there will be a different kind of keys for the security purpose. I will explain you how to manage the key management system. And there are multiple services which we can't show you in the AWS as of now, because this is the Snowball, which is the physical application which is providing by the AWS. But I will give you the explanation regarding this cloud Snowball, this DynamoDB, and this Lambda, SES, SQS. Like these are the different kind of services which is available in the AWS, and we're gonna cover everything. And I have made the documentation for each and every service also for your reference, so that you can, while you are practicing and while you are referring, this document will be very useful for you. So this will be around 72, and I will gonna increase this document based upon the requirement also. Like it will be around 75 to 100 pages of document. Like everything will be clearly recorded, like everything will be clearly documented, so that there will be a no again a re-reference from the different documents also. But I will make sure you to refer the official document also. I will show you the official document, I will show you my document. And this is the class structure, like what I'm gonna cover and how gonna cover. Like already I have covered the previous classes. So like this is for the EC2 creation, and the class 3 we will go for Linux introduction, and we're gonna cover the putty and how to connect to the EC2 instance, and the basics of a few Linux commands we're gonna cover. And like up to 7 to 8 classes we're gonna concentrate on the Linux and EC2 creation and the AWS account creation. And after that, if you interested, we can also make the test, or else we can skip the test based upon your request. And after that, we're gonna cover each and every service like AMI 12th day, and I have completed the templates on 13th day, EBS on 14th day. Like one day, like 1 hour class is enough for the one particular service. I'm gonna explain you. And each and every day I will also give you the task, so you have to perform this task. And if you have any queries regarding it, we will discuss it on next day. Each and every day we will have the task also. Like we have the ELB, Elastic Load Balancer, auto scaling, CloudWatch, SNS, and relational database services, S3 buckets, simple storage service. Like that, I have already gone through around 30 days of classes. So here we also gonna cover around 30 to 35 days based upon maybe holidays or any special request on any particular services re classes. So it will gonna increase. Like I'm gonna give you the end of the class regarding the AWS certification importance and the AWS interview point of view questions, and also the document which I'm gonna give you for your classes purpose. And if you request any test also, I'm gonna perform the test. So this is the entire course content we're gonna cover for the next 30 days. If you have any queries, please ask me. Any technical
Okay, will
questions,
these
non-technical questions?
lab questions, whatever you will give us to practice, will they
Huh?
be will these sufficient to clear the certification exams, or like do we have to also do something extra to clear the exams?
No, no, no. Whatever I'm giving you is just for your practice purpose. But in general, whatever the AWS exam you're gonna attend, it will have all the ABCD options. Okay, which will be all theoretical questions. So it will be around 3 hours of exam will be available, in which you're gonna cover around 120 questions, which is all the questions which I am gonna cover these services. From these services only you're gonna get those exams. So like end of the course, I will navigate you for the examination also. We have a special request, so I will let you know like how to crack the exam and what are the what will be the examination fees. Like the examination fees will be around $150, I think. So it will maybe changes, and the examination certification value will be for the next 3 years. So I will explain you about the certification courses also.
Okay, okay. So what is AWS like cloud practitioner, and like is it a different exam?
Not exactly. Like we have the multiple cloud providers in the market. So the companies has chosen based upon the request. So few companies has chosen AWS also. So like they will prefer you the AWS certification, and few companies like Oracle, they won't use AWS. They will use only their Oracle cloud. And if you choose the IBM, they will use their only IBM server. They won't use the different servers. Like few companies are also available in the market, they use the AWS. There your certification will be valid.
Okay. Thank you so much,
And
Aryo.
hello, please.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, anyone can, please, any questions which is not related to technical also you can ask me. Like,
Yeah, Bhargav, I have one question.
yes.
Actually, I am present. I am working as a lecturer from 11 years onwards. My
Okay.
friends are suggested to learn AWS and jump into the software. So
Okay.
for experience purpose, fake purpose, it is enough to learn AWS this course, and there is a particular course to learn more. For 11 years experience, I am trying to keep 5 years of experience software industries.
Okay. So like you said, 5 years of experience, and I also said like each year you can calculate yourself as 2.5 lakhs of package. So for 5 years you will be get around a level to 12 lakhs package in the market. So if a company is would like to offer you the 12 lakhs package, they will definitely don't expect only AWS from you. They will also expect a few other market the software technologies which is available in the market. Like you, if you are like AWS is one of your certification you can show as your experience in your 5 years. Along with it, you can also have to show the different technologies which is available in the market, maybe Python, maybe DevOps, or any kind of data that like may I know like what subject you may teaching in your organization, like in the college?
I am teaching embedded systems, ECA department.
Okay, so
So I
you
don't have any technical knowledge, so that's why I'm choose AWS. In
hmm
I think AWS we have administrative side, all different those
yes.
things are there.
Now what I
So
have been
yeah, tell.
Yeah, so now whatever I am gonna cover in this course are entire admin part itself. So there will be no coding part and no scripting part will be available. A few Linux commands will be required for to access these services. I will also help you to go through it. And this course will be useful for the mostly the freshers and for the experienced guys as an add-on advantage. Not only AWS, it's an add-on advantage for the seniors, and for the freshers or one or two experienced guys, this can be only AWS course which can they show in the market.
Okay. In AWS add-on advantage means, is there anything more to learn? Uh,
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Like as I said, this course can be covered in 1 month, and it will take 1 month of practice. And for the exam, you can prepare more 15 days. Like in the 2.5 to 3 months, you can complete this AWS certification. And completing this 3 months course and showing it as an 5 years of experience, the company won't believe in you. Okay. So they will
okay.
definitely expect you some more knowledge and some more related to their the job description which they have provided. There you can show as I have AWS certification also along with your job description.
Okay. You are saying that you are teaching entire administrative part. Then
Yes.
coding part means, what are the topics will come in coding part
Like
regarding to AWS?
AWS, we can use the Terraform, which is one of the cloud infrastructure, code as infrastructure, where we can do entire thing with the help of coding itself. It's called as Terraform coding. So if you have the knowledge about these services, how they can be accessed with the manual manner, then you can implement the same manual manner in the coding manner. So first
Okay.
of all, you
Okay.
should have the admin knowledge of AWS. If you know that service can be accessible like this by choosing these options and by choosing these things, that entire thing you will convert into the script, and with the help of script, you're gonna execute it. As an end of the course, I will also navigate you to the Terraform and how to install Terraform and how to implement Terraform. I will go through that thing also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
But if you want to show only AWS for your entire 5 years course, you have to compromise in
Tell
the
me one thing.
package.
What is
Okay. For your suggestion, and which one is the better for my experience, and I am trying to keep this. Can you suggest?
Ma'am, please, once again.
From your side, can you suggest which one is better in AWS for entire 5 years experience? I am keeping AWS.
If you want to keep entire AWS, there will be another
yeah?
certification called as, yeah, this is like associate certification, which I said the basic certification in AWS, which I'm gonna cover around 20 services. And as I shown you, there will be a lot of another services is also available in the AWS, like the specialization certifications, which I meant to say. Just give me a second, I will show you. This will be the major problem with the Windows. If they struck, it will stuck for a lot of time. But in the Linux missions or in the cloud technology, it won't struck. That's why we are
Raghav,
choosing
I
that.
want to ask one question. I want to ask one question from you. I have
Sure.
like 10 years of experience in IT as BPO, and I am presently working as a senior tech support executive. I'm working for Yahoo right
Okay.
now. Okay, and right now I'm working as a senior technical support executive. I just have I'm working for like I have 10 years experience in IT as BPO. So if I want to switch my field completely to AWS, will that be will that be any problem for me if I like? What would you suggest me?
Yeah,
Because I
that's what
just
I
want
meant.
to.
Yeah, that's why I meant to say from the starting onwards also. Like this course, like particular only AWS course is for the mostly like 2 to 3 or 1 years of experience guys, and for the experienced guys they can show as an advantage to them. Okay, so if you
Okay.
want to show entire 10 years in only AWS, because in the market for 1 year and 2 years guys is also ready to do the same work as you can do as a 10 years guy, so the company will definitely choose the 1-2 years guys,
Hmm.
because they have to pay very less to those guys. So the company will definitely choose that 1 or 2 years guys who has certification, same certification like you, but you have 10 years of experience, they have 3 years of experience, so they definitely choose the
So
2 to
you
3 years of guys. If the 10 years guy have some
additionally,
more.
I have to do something extra. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, that's what I meant to say. Because each year they are paying you 2.5 lakhs. For the 10 years guys, they have to definitely pay 15 to 16 lakhs package. So if they are paying more than 1 lakh as a salary for you, they will definitely expect a lot work from you.
That's correct.
Yes, so definitely again you have to choose along with AWS what are the core related, like if you don't want to choose any coding part, if you're interested to coding part, I think you definitely don't come to this course. So if you are don't want to go to the coding part, again there are non-coding courses which are available for the technical part like DevOps. Like in the DevOps is one of the best career you can choose as in 5 years uh, experience, like before the one of the ma'am said, and like you also you can as a 10 years guy you can choose the DevOps with AWS with Python coding. Like if you increase the resume with your courses, that will be add on for you. For each course add on there will be advantage for you to get the job very easily. You got my point?
So you're saying that we have to just increase the our resume weightage so that they can check
Yes,
our
yes,
CV and they can hire you
because you
according to that.
said like your before experience is something related to BPO and which you don't want to show as your in the resume, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yes, then in that space you have to fill with different technical courses which is available in the market. So
Actually, the
you
thing is
have.
that Bhargav, I did my hardware and networking course from JKing Hyderabad. Then I did a Microsoft certified professional, that is MCP certification, like a long time back in Windows XP. Then I just did a hardware and networking diploma from Karnataka State Open University, Mysore, from Mysore. Then I just worked for 2 to 3 years as a lab assistant, and I also worked as a trainer as well for JetKing. So I just then I left the job. Then I completely switched my job to a different field, like in BPO.
Yes, this will be the problem will face a lot of people when they're shifting entire their career into different field. They have to again learn a lot of things to survive in this field. So like before field you have your knowledge which won't be useful to this company, like the next company which you are going to join in any software field, that entire knowledge will not be useful. They will expect another knowledge, like now you have chosen one of the AWS as your field. Along with the AWS, I am suggesting you to choose different, like DevOps is one of the course which will be available, or the data centers or the data science will be available. Like if you're interested, you can ask for the demo for them also. They will arrange you demo regarding these things. So you have to increase your resume. That's it.
Can
That's
I
what I
be
meant
go
to say.
for Azure? Like if I'm going for AWS and Azure,
Yes.
both are like
Yes,
I can
they
go for
are
that, right?
two are cloud technologies. The AWS is mostly they concentrate on the Linux servers, whereas Azure they will
Hmm.
mostly concentrate on the Windows servers. That will be the major difference between Azure and AWS. Both are cloud computing services. Both will have the same kind of options, same kind of services, but the navigation will be different for it. So I think there is
Yeah, but
also a course.
according to my experience, I can go for
Yes.
that. Like what?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. You can choose the multiple cloud technologies also. You can show yourself as 4 years experience in AWS and 3 years experience in AWS and something related like that.
Then they can consider and they can provide me a good package, right?
Yeah, definitely you have to attend the multiple interviews so that you can face.
Hmm.
As I can see, one of the question like AWS Kubernetes by Raj. Yes, Raj, there is an option which is available in the Kubernetes. It's only one service which is called as EKS, which is Elastic Kubernetes Service. But in this particular AWS course, we are not gonna covering it. This may be covering in the AWS with the DevOps course, in which you're gonna have the basic introduction and basic knowledge about the Kubernetes in the Kubernetes course. Then they will shift to the AWS, where they will show you the AWS Kubernetes. So in this particular course, we are not going to cover that Kubernetes service. And any other questions? Please.
Actually, I wanted to know one thing. What is AWS SysOps? What is that exactly?
Like in the AWS multiple certifications, we have solution architect is one of the which we are going to cover. There is a professional where we'll concentrate on one particular service, and the SysOps is like systems and operations, which is something related. Now they have been recently implemented it. So every course is like having a multiple services. They will choose the multiple few fixed services for the use cases, and they will implement it. That is the SysOps. They will have a few course content. Everyone will navigate to the same page which I am showing you. This is like the major page where all the services will available. If they said like AWS quantum technologies, they will mainly concentrate on it. If they said AWS blockchain, they will concentrate on it. If they said AWS analytics, they will concentrate on it, like that. But we are gonna cover like EC2 from compute, S3 from storage, IAM from the glaciers, CloudWatch from the monitoring. Like we will choose all mostly the major services, and we're gonna cover each and every service, our one or two services from this particular modules.
So tell me one thing. Associate level is the basic level. Like we cannot in AWS, we cannot start from a professional level, and then we cannot start from a DevOps level. Can we do that? Or we have to go with the associate level first, and we have to move to the next level. Is that?
It's all
like for example, if we when I talk about Cisco, we do CCNA, then we do CCNP, just like that. So in AWS also, do we have such kind of like chain? I mean to say.
Okay. Yes, like in the AWS, you can attempt to the highest level examination also. There will be no problem, and they won't put anything like that. Like if you want to attend the associate exam, you can directly attend the associate exam, or else if you want to attend the professional exam, you can attend the professional exam directly. So there will be no prerequisite of the previous certification. But for the attempting of that exam, there will be a particular concepts which gonna ask in the exam. So you have to cover that entire concepts. So it's all depends upon your concentration, and all depends upon your practice skills and your like whatever it may be. So I gonna cover the basic level certification course content. So you can cover this course content, and you can also go through the professional course content what they are expecting, and you can go through it, and you can also attempt the exam. So you're from which location?
I'm from Hyderabad.
Okay. There is an exam center in the Somajiguda.
I stay in Malkajgiri.
Yes.
I stay in Malkajgiri.
Okay.
So, but right now I'm in MP. I'm in Madhya Pradesh right now.
Okay, no problem. Like in the whatever the location you said, there are the exam centers will be available, and you can attempt the exams over there. And any questions?
So Bhargav, AWS also provide exam vouchers like Microsoft provide?
I think no, but we have to look after it. Like they have a fixed amount of amount for the examination. A few companies, like if you are working employee and your company want to provide you that examination, then they may have some kind of coupons.
Okay. And what is the exam retake policy if you have not cleared the exam? Is there any policy for that? Like,
I think there will be 3 attempts. The most probable in the first attempt only you're gonna clear the exam. We will let you know while the examination gonna happens how to attempt the exam. There we have some kind of connections. Those we will let you help like how to attempt the exam in the Hyderabad location.
Okay. And what is the passing score for this exam?
70%.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bhargav.
Okay.
Yeah, Bhargav. Are you going to teach even EMR about EMR clusters and AWS Glue?
No. we're not going to cover those concepts here.
Okay.
Any questions?
I missed your introduction. Can you please tell me so that
Okay,
you
like
are working professional?
yes, I'm a working professional. I have total 4 years of experience. I have been working with 3 multiple companies. Currently, I'm working for one of the MNC in the Pune location. So I have around 2 years of teaching experience. This is the one of the course content which I've covered to my previous students. Like this is like each and every day I will have a notes like what we're gonna covering. And AWS is nothing but is one of the cloud service which is available in the market. We have multiple cloud services like GCP, Azure, like etc. But here we're gonna cover the AWS, and this is the course content. Already, I think you have received from our office regarding the course content, and these are the different kind of services I'm going to cover in this entire course. This will be entire 30 days of class in which we're going to have the each and every day task, and if you wish we can also have the weekend exams, and if you want the re of that particular concept, if you want to go through the concept again, I can also go through that concept again also.
Bhargav, will you like on attending the daily sessions? Will these videos will also be like downloadable on our system?
I have no idea. I will record my sessions and I will share with the visual path. And I don't know like how they are going to give you the access, maybe the downloadable access or the view access. You have to once check with the visual path team.
Okay, and you will also provide us the course material also.
Like what I showed, this will be my course content which I have prepared for the easy reference. I will navigate you this, and for each and everything there will be the Amazon official document will be available. Like this is one of the for the EBS, which is Elastic Block Storage. Like for each and every service they have their own official document. I will refer you to that particular document, and I will make sure you to create that particular service in my AWS account, and I will give you the task so that you can also create your AWS like that particular service in your account.
Okay, Bhargav, thank you.
Thank you. And anyone, any queries?
Yeah, and one last